think we have a surprise this week.
Uh-oh.
Oh, big surprise. Will we say the surprise now?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't think he has to. It's not like last week where Paul wouldn't be quiet until we introduced him.
Yeah. I mean, I think they know who he is.
It's the man who has his name in the name of the podcast. John is back.
Hello,
back
everybody.
again.
Well, look, I did have to come back. Once that petition reached 10,000 signatures, it was at 9,999.
Bring him back.
I almost didn't come here. But I'm glad to be back. And yeah.
Now
Podcast sounds really good.
Now we're the three musketeers where we were the two.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was there originally three, or was there two?
No, there was two, and then there was a different two, and now we're back three.
Are you sure there wasn't three, and then maybe I'm thinking of the dog?
I think we always had like a guest of some sort, so there probably
Yeah.
was three, but then there was just nights where there was two.
Oh, I was talking about the actual musketeers. You know,
the
Dog
Musketeers.
Tanyan.
Oh
and
yeah, no, there was
three of those lads, wasn't
There
there?
was
three
three.
musketeers, and then
Three
Dog
Musketeers,
Tanyan
yes.
was the
And then
fourth.
Dog Tanyan. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not really. That was just a
D'Artagnan?
cartoon.
No, Dog Tanyan was the cartoon where he was a dog. D'Artagnan is the actual name.
That
of
was
the
only
man.
a cartoon. That wasn't real.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
The
The
musketeers.
three musketeers were real.
The guard,
But,
the Prince's Knights or something, wasn't it?
I bought a dog in the new year, and I've been standing looking at it, waiting for it to talk and sword fight, and it still hasn't
He
happened.
does that
yet.
when you're sleeping.
Oh, okay. So it is real.
It is real.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Unless it's like the one that drives and stuff. That dog.
What are you talking about?
Snoopy, he drives, doesn't he?
Snoopy.
Snoop Dogg.
He hasn't driven
No,
in 30
Snoop,
years.
Snoop the dog. No, he's a cartoon.
Yeah, I think so. The white dog. The white depressed dog.
Yeah, he drives a car, doesn't he?
He's an alcoholic now.
He's what?
He's an alcoholic now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like 65.
The lockdown was tough on him.
Once he retired, that was it. Whiskey all the time.
Yeah.
So you're very welcome to episode 23.
Yeah.
We had good crack last week. Paul was on talking all about bike stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have to listen to that, you can go listen to that.
I'm all lycra'd out now at this stage.
Yes, and
If only you could see the video. He was wearing spandex the whole podcast, wasn't he?
yeah, he really committed to it. Like he cycled up the stairs. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Buttered
Smell
himself
it.
up and
Yeah,
got
that's
into
it.
the lycra.
Yeah, it was great to hear Paul, actually. I haven't seen Paul in years.
Yeah.
It's great to have him on.
There was a little video of him on the. You put a video up, did you?
Yeah, of him doing the waffle game
Yeah.
terribly.
Yeah. He's a good man. Cycling all around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that time he did the cycle? Wow, yeah. Well impressed.
He's unbelievable. He does he's doing like.
Yeah, I think he's going for his Malta citizenship test this week. So we wish him the best of luck in
We're
that.
sending him all over the bloody place, weren't we?
You get a free bag of Maltesers when you pass.
Right. So you've done it, have you?
Is that where Maltesers come from?
Malta?
Well, maybe it's teasing Malta.
Is it that they're made of malt? Is that what it is?
Maltesers
mine
aren't
is
made of
gone.
malt.
There is malt in them,
God.
isn't there?
Okay, that's our introduction done. Johnny's back.
I apologise. The podcast is going to be like this for the whole lot.
Apologies to everyone from Malta and the people who work in the Malteser factory.
Did we just inadvertently go straight into news stuff?
No, we're keeping house now next.
Okay, so it's a housekeeping?
No, keeping house. In team of the
Oh,
podcast,
you're so
everything is backwards.
Oh, wow.
So
I have
keeping
been away
house.
for a while.
Scottie, take away.
Patrick McLaughlin.
Oh, we're back.
We talked last week. I don't know if you did you hear the story about Patrick, Bertie's cousin. So
Twice removed.
You're trying to remove yourself from him. He contacted Bertie initially. I think it was episode 16.
Yeah,
you revealed that there
he
was an
stuck
email.
in Dusseldorf.
Yeah, there was an email sent. He was stuck, needed money, and Bertie basically ignored him.
Right.
So this lad's stuck in Germany now, and we've been kind of trying to trace him down over the weeks. But he's a bit, what is he? He's a bit of a Dell boy, backhanded. He's kind of working his way through Germany to try and get home, I think. Or, well, we're trying to find out.
That's amazing.
Das Gobel Trotters.
So, we can confirm that Patrick was on his way to Dortmund, remember last week, to confront Erling Haaland. We talked about that.
Yes.
So the news behind that, we had an email from Erling. I got in touch with him. He said that...
He's not signing for Liverpool by any chance now.
He didn't mention that, actually.
That'll
I'll
be
try
the
and convince him.
That should have been the first question.
I'll do a reply. He said that Julia's baby was very, very possibly his, and it seems that Patrick went to confront him over it. Remember I told you Julie was pregnant? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the bucket.
Yeah, from the bucket.
The bucket baby.
Yeah. So Erling and Patrick were off to have a fight. I can't confirm what the result of that fight was, but it seems Chris Rock came out publicly and sided with Haaland, and then Will Smith reacted as he is an avid Patrick fan. He listens to the podcast.
Keep Haaland out of your mouth.
So did you see the Oscars?
We did.
That's what that was about, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was some body language expert tried to dissect it and say that it was fake.
A body language expert that needed some exposure.
That's it, so, yeah.
With an up-and-coming podcast, perhaps.
It did look a little bit WWE-esque, to be fair.
Yeah, and he was walking away kind of smiling, laughing.
Yeah, so I don't
Bit
know.
of a strange situation, that one.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion on that is,
Okay, here we go.
fake or not, but upcoming to the Oscars. Oscars obviously didn't go well last year. The ratings were dropping the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And the most recent stories are like, what are the Oscars doing this year? Because they've been dropping, right? Maybe they're going to cancel it. And all of a sudden, there's something happened at the Oscars that is the biggest thing since COVID.
Yeah.
You're probably right, because a lot of people on Twitter and said that they wouldn't have known the Oscars was on, only that happened.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue.
Yeah. And like, and the world of those celebrities is very elite, where they're doing weird stuff anyway. They're so rich that they'll do weird stuff. Like, God only, maybe that's for another podcast, but you can imagine being so rich and being able to do anything you want, you'll do weird stuff. And I can imagine that there's a secret backhander thing where, like, let's do this, Chris, let's do this, Will.
Yeah, like the WWE.
Well, I went searching. I was interested to see what the crack was with his Instagram after that happened, because I seen obviously people back and forward were like, "Oh, that was terrible," and then other people were like, "Well done for standing up for your missus." But his
it wasn't in the middle of the solar, like, I mean.
That's probably where it should have been sorted out. But his followers went up by like something, I don't know, crazy. Will Smith's.
Yeah, but Chris Rock has sold out his tour, and it wasn't sold out before.
But okay, well, should we debate, like, is he right to have hit him, or should he have done it a different way? Like I think this is I'm amazed by the division. Like, I don't think he should have hit him. Yeah, he should have stood up for his wife.
Yeah.
But, like, at least shouted at the very worst, or wait till the Oscars is over and then do some kind of Twitter rant, but not go up and hit the man.
Should he have
then
thrown
go back and sit down?
Should he have thrown a door at him or a wheel at him?
Don't go there.
Even through a drink, even throwing a drink at him.
If that was me now in a row, you're not going to go up and slap someone. You're more than likely going to grab them by and be like, "What?"
Especially when the thing happened,
fisticuffs,
and he was laughing at the joke initially, smiling away, and then he looked at her. Apparently, this is what's been said. He looked at her; she was a bit sour over it, and then, like, you don't get that outraged after.
Also, that slap was very classy. Like, he did it really cool looking, didn't he?
It was.
Like, only Will Smith could, like, hit like that and have that spin.
Yeah,
like,
he was Ali.
He put his hip into it.
He did, yeah.
There's some audio guy in the room that pressed like the slap noise button just as that happened.
It was very loud. I thought he punched him first off.
Oh, slap.
No, it was right smack the slap.
Yeah. So probably shouldn't have done it. But I mean,
Chris Rock goes, Will Smith came up and just slapped the shit out of me. He has obviously never got the shit slapped out of him, because that was just one slap. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't say he got much slaps. Like, who slaps celebrities?
Chris Rock looks like a lad that got, like, a few slaps. He's a bit cheeky, like.
Yeah. I was told as well that they have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get a seat at the Oscars, even if they're invited. They
you get a doggy bag though.
Well,
with loads of stuff
like
in it.
$75,000 doggy bag. Yeah. A piece of land in Scotland they had in the doggy bag.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, obviously
for each of them. That's all of Scotland.
Basically. Apparently, like, there's loads of Gucci stuff in the bag, but the Scottish government or something gave each celebrity that got a goodie bag a small section of land in Scotland.
That is so clever.
It's probably only like a metre by a metre squared, but
that it didn't your man Bentner do that? That played for Arsenal. He got a small square, so now people have to call him like Lord Bentner.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because he bought this piece of land on this estate that lets you be Lord or whatever. Like,
okay, I'm going to suggest something. How much would a square of land in, say, Scotland or England cost, do you think?
Well, it has to be a specific square that is on an estate that you can be called Lord.
Well,
right.
What about the Dunsany estate?
Yeah.
Go up, just knock on the door. Say, look, what do you need for
Lord Waffle
I'll
Hour.
plant some wildflowers on it.
That's what I'm saying. One of us should become a lord for the podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast research.
Okay, I'm going to research that for next week.
Research that. Give me a man a text.
Did you have? Sorry, we could have crossed your.
I have loads more news. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So youth mass.
Yes, youth mass. Have we got an interview?
I have no news from youth mass this week. Nothing.
Damn it.
Nothing. It's gone dry. The well has gone dry. If there's anyone that listens to the podcast who knows any of the lads,
I'm surely we know someone that's.
I recognise them, but I don't know them.
yeah. Paul Carras lives in an estate with one of them.
Yeah, Scottie nearly gave away his actual address.
I pretty much did.
2 episodes a week.
But like, what about Kieran Mitchell or any of them lads?
Yeah, we'll have to put out the feelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, extend to youth mass. So no youth mass used this week.
Keeping in mind, episode 26 is our half birthday, so youth mass, birthday present, whatever.
Yeah. Lord Youth Mass. Okay, my next piece of news is about, I don't know if you saw this, Roberto Carlos. You know the footballer Roberto Carlos?
Yes.
Roberto Carlos, this is the headline, scores Sunday League side, Bull in the Barn United. He basically...
They won a competition with him.
Yeah, they won a competition to have him play for their Sunday League side.
Yeah.
And he came and played a blinder, apparently. Played everyone off the pitch and scored a goal, which I thought was class.
What age is he now? Yeah. Late 40s, no? He's not 50, is he?
I should have probably researched that, I guess. Doesn't say.
Oh.
So I guess, he'd be mid to late 40s, I'd say, yeah.
Is he how's his condition like? Does he look a bit like?
He looks okay. He's putting on a little bit of
weight.
Bit of timber.
Yeah, bit of timber around the
insulation.
You
midriff,
would
yeah.
after all that fitness and then suddenly stop.
He always had chunky legs, anyway.
The Brazilians will go like that though. Like they'll just
Like Ronaldo.
yeah, they'll go off the deep end when they're done.
He's called
Like
Fat Ronaldo now for a
food.
reason.
Yeah. No. Well, okay. Here's the other thing: is he Ronaldo? Is the other Ronaldo, or is I'm not going to say Fat Ronaldo? That's fat shaming someone. But
Yeah.
Brazilian Ronaldo, he's Ronaldo, I think.
Yeah, he's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like Ronaldinho.
Oh,
Ronaldinho.
he's some lad. He was in the news recently as well over something.
He's Rivaldo.
I think
as
he
well.
hit someone,
Oh,
didn't he?
that
Remember,
was Will Smith. You're confusing him with Will Smith.
remember Denilson, and he
Yep.
was the most expensive midfielder in the world at one stage.
right, yeah.
15 million or something.
Yeah, and then he just went. No, he went to Real Betis and then
That's a
did
bit-
nothing. Okay, so my last piece of news then involves a prop. So I'm going to hand it to you first, and I want to see. This is a photo
Exciting.
from. Actually, I'll get it first. Okay.
Do I need to fill in?
No.
Oh, I was going to bring up the Sam Fender song.
No. Again.
No,
This photo.
it was
is,
Moncrief last
I
week.
am taking a folded book with the photograph on it.
So this is from my primary school. I think 5th class or 6th class.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Mr. Boylan. So
I
there might
should
be
have
some
voted
faces in there that you
Mr.
recognise.
Boylan. Freeze.
Were you in St. Michael's as well?
Yes.
Oh, you were.
I'm outnumbered this week.
Ah, yes, yeah.
St. Michael's where the controversial was Mr. Darby and Miss Darby. Sorry for listening.
The clue is in the name.
But it took about 3 years before we realised actually they were always together, weren't they?
Yeah,
Johnny has to put on
We
his
always used
glasses.
to slag it. Yeah, I had to put on my glasses. Mr. Boylan was a hardcore teacher.
He was. Yeah, some lad.
Yeah, he died, didn't he?
He did.
I did hear he was sick. All right,
I heard.
He lived out in Borsmillan, you know.
I don't know. He was from the north, though, wasn't he? He was a northern man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different Mr. Boylan.
Northern or Scottish?
No, northern. I think.
Northern, yeah. He
Smoked-
definitely had an accent that would put shivers down your spine.
Yeah,
when he was
smoked like a train. Drank loads of coffee and ate polo mints.
Sounds like Mr.
consistently.
McDermott.
angry. My God,
Yeah, a
the
little bit like Mr.
memories are
McDermott.
flying back.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
I'm just
So-
looking at the lads that were in your class. Yeah.
Is there anyone there that you recognise?
Well, I recognise the names at the very bottom of the
Their
page.
faces, not so much. So a lot of those lads, I mean, the majority of them probably would have went up into first year in the, well, it was the brothers then, and then later on into, you know, you would have been in class with a lot of those lads as well, coming into
in
fifth
tech.
year. Yeah, when they let the riffraff in 5th year, remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
They call it the community college now.
Really?
Notions.
I might get a bit morbid here, right?
Okay.
I don't know what kind of podcast we have now at the minute, but I remember back in, it was this class, not the class, but the same age group, right? And I'm trying to remember whether it was a guest speaker that came in or one of the teachers. But he sat us down, and the whole class is around us, and he said, "Lads, not trying to scare you here, but there's 30 years here. 4 years by the time you're 30 will be in jail. and there's very likely 2 years will be dead. And we were like, going, Jesus. And then he said, 2 of yous are going to have a very bad accident or something like that. And I can't remember the reasons he was doing this. We were just like kids going, why is he telling us this?
And one of you is going to sell beanbags.
But like,
what was the purpose of that?
That statistic kept in my head like for the rest of my life.
Was it maybe sex education or something?
No, it wasn't. But like, would you be able to look at your class photo now?
Oh, I could tell you. Yeah, I could tell you.
Dead from this?
Yeah, I could tell you pretty quickly if there's anyone there.
And I remember I could look back at mine and I can pick out 2 to 3 lads that have passed away.
Yeah.
So your man's statistic was like correct. I think he was doing it in a sense that make sure you look after yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get into the bad and don't hang around with the bad people. Because he was, in his comments, he was literally saying, there's some bad lads in this class that'll go to jail. If you want to go to jail with them, you hang around with them. And all this kind of attitude, because there was some bad lads in my class.
Yeah, there was theirs too.
I think there was I think something happened that day, very controversial, like someone peed on someone. Long story. Whoever's listening, you know who it is.
You pay for that stuff nowadays.
And then some counsellor had to come into the class and basically talk to us. Yeah.
Whoa.
So yeah, and that's what he said to us. He said, look around, lads. 4 years are going to be in jail. 2 to 3 years are going to be dead. You know? And yeah.
I know
very morbid.
I know for sure that there's one person from our year that passed away. Yeah, that I know of for sure.
I was just looking at this. That a lot of them made it to Leaving Cert, but there's a few names that I don't recognise.
One or two might have gone out in sixth.
But a lot of these were my class in the tech.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them.
All right, that's the lads he was talking about going to prison. I'd say
probably them lads.
Those ones.
Yeah, that John Doran fella, get expedited to Canada.
Yeah, he got.
We were meant to have our 20th reunion.
That would have been last year.
Last year, yeah.
Or this year? No.
2001 was our Leaving Cert year.
Oh yeah, so we were 2000.
Yeah.
No.
We're 2003.
You're 2 years ahead.
Yeah, I'm old, lads. I'm old.
Were you?
Yeah.
I thought you were just a year ahead of us.
You were the last tech Leaving Cert. No, you went to community school.
We moved to the community school on the year of our Leaving Cert.
Oh, so you were the first Leaving Cert in the community school.
There was a digger outside my window doing my maths exam.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I said, and I was literally going, I'm going to be a digger driver.
I'll bring in the Leaving Cert one next week.
Yeah, do.
And compare to see who's in it.
Because I just came across, well, not physically.
Well, you're moving house. So.
Yeah, I just came across this as I was moving. But yeah, there's a. I don't think everyone I think is alive.
That's good. Yeah. I'm delighted.
There's definitely 4 that wasn't in the Leaving Cert bus, wherever they went.
Yeah. Paul Mulreed was one. He went off to like Garbley College or something.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Garbledy College.
Is it Garbally?
Garbally. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Garbally.
It's somewhere down country.
Man Featherston.
No, David Featherston was
around, yeah.
Davey was in our year.
In Leaving Cert?
No, I don't think he went. I don't think he did a Leaving Cert.
Oh well then.
I think he left.
He was too
before
cool
that.
for a Leaving Cert.
He was, but he's a musician now. I think he plays in a band, doesn't he?
Yep. Nice guy.
Shane Deegan. Shane Deegan was in our class. No, he went to a different secondary school.
Shane's in America now.
He is. Yeah, that's right.
Doing well for himself.
No, he was in Leaving Cert.
Was he?
Yeah.
Are you sure he didn't go to a different secondary school?
No, because that's how I know him, because he wasn't in the tech like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he would have been in our year then. Damien McEntee, you probably wouldn't know. He was in our primary school, but didn't go to our secondary school. He went somewhere else. He was Dr. McEntee's son.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's pretty much
Makes
it.
sense.
Yeah.
Same last name.
Yeah. But there was another McEntee though, wasn't there? There was a teacher.
There was a Mr. McEntee.
And a Mrs. McEntee.
Trudy. Mrs. McEntee too. There was a Mr. McEntee in the tech. He was the metalwork teacher.
No, is that
that's Mr. McEnany.
Ah, damn it! Yes,
I thought you were talking about Macquarie there for a second.
Drove a red BMW.
Miss McEntee was I think
McEntee, yeah,
geography or something. Was her name Trudy McEntee?
Is she the lady that kept taking the hats?
No, that was Miss Menton. She loved a hat.
Oh,
you know what? Funny story. I met Miss Menton, and like we had our run-ins in school over the years, and loads of people did. I met her in Dr. Doyle's office there in Trim, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. My daughter was she would have been about 3 at the time, toddling about the place, and I walked in and she was sitting there, and I instantly went back into student mode and I froze. It's like, oh shit, what have I done? What have I done anything wrong? Do I have my homework done? And I sat down across from her, and she recognised me straight away. And she started chatting, and she was the nicest. And like, she gave my daughter money for chocolate and stuff, and chatting away to her. She was lovely, and it got me to thinking about teachers in secondary school and what they must have to go through to deal with the likes of us.
Yes.
15 or 16
just
of us
before you
at
go
the
any further,
time.
did Miss Menton by any chance open up her jacket and pull out your hat?
I've never
That would
gotten
be
that
amazing.
hat back.
But yeah, it is amazing what they have to go through. Like, because obviously, even as a parent, you have to act differently to your kids to be dominant, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I imagine the parents are doing the same. And it's hilarious because now we're at the age now where our friends are now parents. And you're like, how are you? Or our friends are now teachers, and you're like, how are you, teacher?
Yeah.
You're wild.
But you look at maybe it's just the way I'm looking back at it, but I feel like the first and second years in the year when we done the Leaving Cert, that's where I started pitying the teachers, because we used to mess, but they were like real, I don't know, they were much wilder. I think that's the start of that generation that is giving out about everything now.
Do you think so?
I think so, because like we would have messed and all, but we still kind of respected the teachers.
We would have, because we were decent enough fellas.
Yeah,
but there was lads in
maybe
our
that
year
was
that
it.
weren't.
Yeah,
There was one or two lads in my year, that literally cursed at them. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
remember those first and second years at the time, and they used to be always giving out about them, and you see them, they'd be throwing fireworks at you and everything, and screamers up there.
The first and second year. So like the people like Nicky Gunning that year, your buddies.
He wasn't that far behind me. He wasn't into community school now.
Nicky,
He went
younger
that boy.
than you.
Oh right, okay.
I don't know who was in that first year. Whoever was in first year in 2003.
He was in our primary school though. I think that's how I
And then he went that boy school.
Yeah. But I wonder, is that a generational thing when you look back and you're like, oh, those lads? Because I see it nowadays with the kids coming in. Like, you always think that the ones below you are either there's something wrong with them,
maybe.
or they're just weird the way
Yeah,
or they're really small.
I just thought they were much wilder than we were in first year. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably
Like,
weren't.
I remember like messing with each other and maybe giving out about a teacher. But
Clarify.
like,
oh right, okay.
we rarely get.
That was taking a turn, wasn't it?
It was very quickly.
Yeah. Thank God he carried on.
Because I remember that 50p game we had.
50 cent
No, it was 50p at the time.
was peas. Okay.
And so you had to go to the shop and get a bag of peas, and you had to count out.
What?
No, so we had the 50p that was the hexagonal
That's
shape.
the one that crack your head open, yeah.
Yeah, and we used to put our knuckles down on the woodwork table and like slide into each
Oh
other.
yeah.
Yeah,
I used to play that.
that was back when the 50p had corners.
That was the cut.
That was when we didn't have phones, obviously.
I realised, yeah. Well, we talked about that actually, about the first phone. I think it was junior cert maybe. Motorola T2288.
I had a Mitsubishi Triumph.
Yeah.
A what?
A Triumph. Mitsubishi Triumph.
Sounds like a
It's
motorbike.
like a half flip phone.
Oh, fancy. Was that your first phone?
Yes, the first phone.
Janie Mac.
Yeah, it was just you had a little flippy thing that covered the keypad, and then you flipped it off to open the keypad. And it also had an aerial that you pull up.
Yeah. Did that thing break off at any time?
The aerial?
No, the little flippy thing.
No, it never did.
How? I break
know.
stuff so easily these days.
Back then, I think you just looked after it a bit better than, I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I had like a big chunky cover on it too.
They were more resolute.
They're a bit stronger back then.
They're better. Yeah, because less technology.
They're not 95% glass.
Yeah, that Nokia 3210. She could have dropped that anywhere. It would have been grand.
Yeah.
Should we actually introduce the topic?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I've no more news actually. That's the end of my news.
Okay.
I like that.
That went on for ages,
good
didn't it?
news.
Sorry.
We were going to talk about food
Food.
and restaurants and notions.
Oh, Jesus, notions.
Notions.
A few of them.
So what sparked that was the thing in the news last week about the bowl on your breakfast. So we might start at breakfast and work our way through. And we'll cover tea and coffee as well.
Okay, start with that though, because I didn't hear that. I don't think.
Yeah, so they put up a chef tweeted, and I think Today FM retweeted or whatever, and he says like when you do the breakfast, the breakfast should be in a I can't remember the name of it.
I think
It's
I
a little
remember
porcelain
this, yes.
bowl, and I was like, that's a bowl. That's not a nipkin or napkin or something.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. It was like a weird Chinese bowl thing.
Yeah, it was a little casserole bowl, the porcelain casserole bowl that
Right.
you get your beans in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's just a little bowl, but he said like you should always have the beans in that because some people mightn't like beans and beans run all over the place. So he says that's the standard when you go to places, that it should be in that, unless it's a self-service breakfast buffet thing.
Yeah.
But I like beans with the breakfast.
Is that the Irish way? I've had it like that a load of times when I've got served breakfast.
Yeah.
But is it
Beans?
yeah, in the little bowl, like.
Yeah.
But is it more Irish just to feck the beans on there and just
Well,
go for it?
there you go. There's notions now. At home, you wouldn't want the beans and you just throw the beans on. But then if you were somewhere and there was just beans all over the place, you'd be like, I want my beans in a bowl.
Really though?
Yeah, I think so. No?
I know. I don't know. I just fire them on there. I'm not that fussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they're neatly put to one corner of the plate.
Yeah, they're just fired on top of everything.
like dropped from a height. Like, no,
That's a bit of a trend, actually, isn't there? I saw something on Instagram. There's this lad who owns a restaurant, I think in Turkey, and he runs up behind people like spreading salt on their food from afar.
From afar.
Yeah,
A salt sniper.
Yeah, he runs up and like throws salt. Is it? No, maybe it's not the Salt Bay guy.
No. Someone else.
I'd say he'd be a bit busier.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Them little bowls are called ramekins.
Right.
See?
They're from Farton, obviously, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. They're small bowls.
Sounds
but
Jewish.
What I was saying, like,
It does.
you know, when you go out for food, yeah, expect like a higher standard than what you're going to do at home.
Yeah. Well, you're paying good money for it.
Yeah.
So I think then with the breakfast, if the beans are in a bowl, that's a higher standard than them just lashed
What's
on.
next? 8 bowls and an empty plate.
I want my rashers in one, my sauces in one.
I want a rasher shaped plate.
The only thing is, like, I rasher shit. You could roll your sausage up in a rasher.
Millennials.
I
Yeah.
know.
if
You'd roll
that's
your
it.
rashers up into a sausage.
No, roll your sausage up in a rasher.
That's pigs and blankets.
That's exactly what that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, pigs and blankets are a sausage roll.
No. Pigs and blankets are cocktail sausages wrapped in a streaky bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought it was wrapped in pastry. Make a sausage roll.
No, it's a sausage roll.
That would be called
Oh.
sausage roll. Yes.
All right.
Every day's a learning day.
But when I go to hotels and that, I rarely get the breakfast, only if there's no pancakes or waffles. Because they're the tiny things that you don't get at home. You want to treat yourself when you're in a hotel. Like.
Pancakes and waffles.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fire on an old batch of pancakes the odd time, no?
Oh, I would, but I'm just saying when you're out, you're just thinking, I can have rashers and sausages anytime at home.
I wouldn't have pancakes except Pancake Tuesday. It's wrong.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's wrong.
If I'm in a hotel and there's
not a
pancakes
special-
on that breakfast menu,
Yeah, I
I am
suppose.
having those pancakes.
No, I don't eat pancakes any other day than Pancake Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
You serve our Lord Jesus Christ, obviously.
Yeah.
No, it served me mammy.
And how he
Mammy makes me pancakes and that's it.
Does Jesus have something against pancakes on every other day apart from
no.
Pancake Tuesday?
I remember Jesus and Jesus and the Easter Bunny crashed in a helicopter. And that's why we celebrate Easter.
Jesus.
Because I'm a family guy or something.
Yeah. What Pancake Tuesday? Where did that come from? What is that?
Well, I don't think the real reason is because you have to use up all the eggs so you don't make cakes over Lent, like, because you would have given up cakes for Lent, like.
That would make sense.
But I think that's like the hallmark reason.
Well, pancakes is like eggs, milk, and
Yeah, what you make,
Flour.
make
Flour.
You
cake.
could
Yeah.
make them that often. Eggs, milk, eggs and milk.
But like, yeah, it is an interesting one actually. But I can imagine it's just made by the people behind eggs. They just made up.
Maybe.
Made up by the chickens.
But a lot of those things kind of start as like a necessity thing. So it was like, for example, the Caesar salad. Do you know where the Caesar salad comes from?
No, Caesar, what's his face made it? No, Julius Caesar.
That's what he was famous for, I
Yeah.
think, was it?
Well, I tell you would have
Favourite
never
salad.
guessed
What?
where the tradition for Pancake Tuesday came from.
Right, you go on. And I'll tell you the Caesar salad one.
Oh, sorry. I
on.
tuned out there when I was
I had
Googling.
a very interesting story. Go on. Right, go on.
It says the tradition is said to have originated in 1445 when a housewife in Olney, Buckinghamshire, sounds like a fake name,
Yeah.
was so busy making pancakes that she forgot the time until she heard the church bells ringing for service
Right.
on Shrove Tuesday, because it's actually called Shrove Tuesday, like.
That's right.
It's not called
It is
Pancake
right.
Tuesday.
What's a shrove? Is that? Oh no, I'm thinking of cloves. What's a shrove?
I know what a shrove is. Damn it. It's gone blank.
Google.
Shrove is like a clover or some sort of thing, isn't it?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're learning so much here this evening.
Yes.
So Shrove,
Learn with us.
Shrove is it's a confessional box.
Oh, Jesus.
You meant to go to
What?
confession on show.
Pancake
Shrove
Tuesday is
Tuesday.
a lot more filled in my... Like, I'd be busier than usual then.
This is deep.
Wow.
Okay, so do you want the Caesar salad?
Yes, tell us all about this Caesar salad.
Okay, so who invented the Caesar salad? Many people think that it was from Julius Caesar. Many stupid people.
Well, I would be mind blown if it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, mind blown.
No, it's the casino in Las Vegas. They started making salads like that.
No. Okay,
Oh.
so Caesar Cardini.
The Caesar Palace.
He was born in 1896, and he was an Italian-American man.
That's the year the Olympics started.
Is it really?
The current Olympics, yeah, 1896.
Oh, I was thinking Athens was probably the original. That's way back.
Yeah,
Oh,
back
that's
when.
way back.
When the Olympians are...
This is when the
Yeah.
ring one started.
Frodo. Are you going to go back into another Lord of the Rings thing?
when I-
And Johnny will
Oh.
just tune out.
I have something funny to tell you. Go on
About
that
rings.
first. And I'll tell you
Okay,
my
so
story.
anyway, this guy, American guy, and basically what happened, he had a restaurant, was it in Texas? No, Palace Hotel, San Francisco. And he ran out of, it was a particularly busy day in the restaurant, and he ran out of pretty much everything that he had in the restaurant, apart from he had left some leafy things, some old bread, and then the makings of this Caesar salad sauce. And he just fired it all together and served it to the people that were there, and it became this huge thing.
And did they
out of
ask,
nowhere.
"Oh, what is this called?"
Yeah, and
he's
his name
like,
was Caesar.
Caesar.
Yeah.
A lot of things were done that way when they ran out. I think a lot of cocktails and stuff like that were invented like that.
Right.
When basically someone would ask for something behind the bar and the barman like wouldn't have them. He'd be like, "I'll just give us that instead. Put gin in it."
Like the flaming
And then
Mo.
there'd be a new cocktail.
Did you ever see the flaming Mo?
No. Oh, from The
In
Simpsons.
Simpsons, yeah. It's a necessity.
I've never had it.
Is there any drinks like that are made in that sort of a vein with like cough syrup and that type of jazz?
Not with cough syrup. No. I think there was I think there's a cocktail, the Negroni. You know the Negroni? Did you ever hear
I've
of
heard the name.
Yeah.
I think there's a story behind that where it was made in Italy where some guy was trying to get like there's this thing called an Americano, I believe, and it has Campari, martini, and some other ingredient. But basically, the barman didn't have any. I think there was some ingredient in it he didn't have, and he said, "I should just put gin in it." And your man liked it, and then everybody else going, "Oh, I'll try that." And they tasted it, and they said, "I'll have one of them." And basically, his name was Negroni, so. This
that was
barman just released this new Negroni cocktail, and it's one of the world's number one cocktail at the minute.
So basically, what we have to do, we have to find a way of
The
putting that
waffle martini.
No, putting
Oh,
that
sorry.
formula into a podcast.
Oh.
Something that the dregs of a podcast, and make something new.
So do the podcast so wrong that it gets
exactly.
famous, and then people, for a laugh, start doing the same way. I think we're on the way to it.
Yeah, we're well in the way.
I seen a fella on Facebook, and they post up photos of him, and he changed his username to customer service, and he went on to all these. Did you see it? No.
I sent that to you last night.
Oh, is that where I see it? Oh, there you go.
Fan.
So let me start that again.
Yeah.
Scottie sent me this thing last night.
Brilliant.
It was funny, and people are like giving out, and he's giving really smart answers back to all these different
But
companies.
like he can do the smart answers, but doing them that smart was hilarious.
Yeah, it's
Oh
funny,
yeah, so clever. But
Like-
he changed the picture of the to the thing as well. Yeah.
Oh.
And wasn't it one like he was like, "Yeah, we had to fire Jane because she shit in the salad."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I hope you're joking. I shit you not." Unlike Jane, I shit you not.
It's so clever. Okay, so I'll read one that isn't too bad. This is for customer support for H. Samuel. I don't know the shop.
Jewelers, no?
All right, yeah, it is. Yeah, bought my wife a ring in H. Samuel's in Bouldering Centre. Needed to resize the ring. When I got back to collect, they could not find the ring, and it was told that they would contact me and find this. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Absolutely ridiculous. I've been waiting over a week with no one giving me any answers. Get my ring found or refund me. And then your man, customer support, comes in and says, "Okay, calm down, Frodo." He replies back, "I want the name of the person who wrote this. You cannot treat customers this way." And he says, "The name's Gollum, my precious." The other ones are, some of them are quite dirty, so I can't read out the other ones, but it's very, very clever. I like
What
that.
rating is this podcast?
His?
This podcast.
This podcast?
Yeah.
Well, I tick
don't
the
know.
box that says it's not for kids, so
Okay.
I don't
yeah,
know what that
yeah,
means.
Yeah, no, there's no. Well, actually, in saying that, I found out that my daughter listens to the podcast.
Oh wow. Okay, we better be careful. Then.
Okay.
Well, I told a story last
but
week.
you played it for her. What were you going to think?
I wanted to.
It's addictive.
So I told a story last week about going to Junior Bucks and having a competition with a guy called Stephen Fox to see how many girls we could shift in the one night.
Yes.
And my dad was like, or my daughter was like, Dad, did you ever go to discos when you were young?
Oh no, she's trying to catch you.
testing you.
Not telling me directly that she knew. And I was like, oh yeah, I would have went to a few of them. Right?
Discotheque.
She was like, did you go to one here in Athboy? I was like, yeah. How did you know that? Oh, no reason. And I checked her phone and she's subscribed to the podcast.
Excellent. Played her.
No, this is not good. I'm going to watch exactly what I say every
Saying
week.
that, I did see did you see the queue that was outside Zango's for the junior disco this week? No?
No.
There was
No.
a junior disco in Trim, apparently on the 14th or something like that of April. And it was on Trim discussion page, scandal
Right.
of this long queue. People like kids queued outside Zango's for 4 hours to get a ticket.
4 hours.
Yeah, some didn't get them. They're scandalous.
That
it was
sounds like
literally
Stephen's night back in the day.
Parents going on like, "Why? That's ridiculous. We could not enough tickets, blah blah." And then they eventually released another date.
Right.
But basically, there was a scandal on Trim discussion page. But then you went into the comments, and there was like,
you know you're getting old now
Oh.
when you're cruising Trim discussion page.
That's a great page. I like that.
It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the best.
Yeah, I like it.
There was one time there was an Audi A4 parked outside Sally Rogers for 4 weeks. I think after 3 years, I went through a phase of after 3 years, every time there was an argument on Trim discussion page, I always commented, regardless of what the conversation was, what about the Audi A4? Is it still there? Nobody ever wrote back.
Whatever happened to the Audi A4?
But basically, parents still then were getting on going, no, I'm not going to let my child go to that junior disco. I heard they're having competitions of who can go around and kiss the most boys.
Oh my lord.
And then
going.
you're telling me this story that you said on the podcast.
This has been happening for years.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I heard
or-
that,
or
that's,
originated.
Maybe, yeah.
that's how the podcast is going to get famous, because that's going to be called, oh, we're going to Zango's and we're going to go waffling.
Well, yeah.
We made it then. You know?
I definitely didn't start that, but I got, as I told him last week, I got glandular fever the week after. And I actually got a girlfriend that night as well. I ended up going out with someone from that night that I shifted.
And glandular fever.
And
And
glandular
glandular
fever.
fever. Oh, wow.
And
Winner.
she rang my house phone because I didn't have a mobile. I
nice.
gave her my house phone. My mum answered and she was like, who is this? And she said, I'm Owen's girlfriend. And she was like, you're who? And she hung up the phone.
Yeah, fair play.
And I was recovering at the time from glandular fever and from kissing 14 other girls. What a time to be alive.
Legendary.
Some stats.
Yeah.
See, I think some of them, the styles are coming back. So Kerry was telling me earlier that they went out to a pub in Mullingar for dinner or whatever, and they were just going home because they're old. That's like same age as us, like.
Yeah.
And so they were going home in a reasonable hour, like 8 o'clock, whatever. And the night crowd was coming in. You know, the out, not just popped out, but the out crowd.
Yeah.
And said like they were all wearing the stuff that she would have worn like in the early noughties going out.
Right.
Yeah, so
Like-
it's the circle has come back again.
Like rip away trousers.
Button trousers, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, flare jeans and like big chunky shoes, and there was one then wearing like a Ramones t-shirt,
No way.
and no, sorry, a Slipknot t-shirt.
Well, yeah, they're kind of fashionable though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Ramones and that type of stuff. I've seen people wearing
They
Ramones.
probably don't even know what the Ramones are.
yeah,
That's-
that's what she said. Yeah,
They've never listened to them in their life.
so I've got the bootcut jeans and the brown shoes at home, just waiting to take them out.
They like the brown cords, bootcut ones. Like
No, I bootcut jeans. Remember, we all wore bootcut jeans and brown shoes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wranglers or Lees.
Yeah.
Do you remember we used to get the scissors? Well, I did anyway.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
cut up the inside leg.
Yeah, that's right.
The school trousers, because we didn't want them real tight, and now we wear tight trousers.
That was the
and
style,
Doc
though.
Martens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was told a story. I don't know how true this is. Should I mention the name? Yes, I should.
Yes.
Robert Kennedy told me a story about his brother when he was in secondary school. Stuart. Yeah. And Stuart saw a little gap in the market, basically. That Doc Martens were kind of coming up. And he found a guy in England who was selling kind of knockoff Doc Martens for quite cheap. So Stuart got in contact with this guy. Keep in mind, he's still like a teenager. Got in contact with this guy, ordered like a big crate full of these things, travelled to the UK, didn't tell Margaret, got on a plane like on a Friday, left Trim, went to England and ordered this crate off this guy, got them shipped back to Trim and stored them somewhere and sold them and made some amazing amount of profit.
That's a proper Kennedy thing to do.
It's such a Stuart thing to do, though, isn't it?
Yes,
Like,
as well.
just unbelievable. So we were meant to be talking about food,
Oh yeah, food.
and that got derailed a little bit.
Yeah, well, I do like pancakes when I'm in a hotel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about pancakes.
What is in your breakfast? Like, now, I'm not a massive fry person, but I would have specific things I do like. I like the eggs.
But like, are you talking about at home or at a hotel?
No, hotel.
Okay.
This is all going out now.
Right, so
Okay.
your ideal sort of breakfast.
Yeah, if you were to go to a place or a hotel, what would you be annoyed that you didn't have, or what would you like to put together? I like the buffet style instead of ordering it down, because you can just pick what you want.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if this is a particularly northern thing, but have you in my fry? I like, and I grew up having this stuff.
Is this boxy now, is it?
Well, people call it boxty down here, but it's potato bread.
No, I thought it was the other way around. I call it potato
here,
bread.
yeah.
Oh, it's potato bread.
Yeah, it is potato bread.
Boxty's kind of like that's
Boxty's
more of
a
a
bit-
West type thing.
Yeah, Boxy's like Tullamore area.
Yeah.
like all
Oh.
that kind of side.
And then they call them potato earls. I've
But
seen that before.
No, that's the other thing is called soda bread,
Yeah.
which is I think they're called potato earls. Is it?
No, soda bread's brown bread.
Soda bread is brown bread.
No,
just soda.
no. It's not that type of bread. It's like it's white, and it's cut into like these long kind of fingers.
Chips.
No, not chips.
Oh yeah, soda bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mum made that. Sometimes there's raisins in it.
No, definitely not with raisins. This was with your breakfast, like
Yeah.
with raisins.
Yeah.
And, like,
well, we call
sausages.
it corny bread.
I know,
but that's obviously
Boxty's popular.
what we call it.
Let's just call it Boxty, and we won't fall out.
Oh no, it's potato bread. You can't be calling it boxty.
Okay, potato bread. Yeah, it was like
Boxty
a
has something
flapjack
else in
kind
it
of
though.
style.
It's just a flat piece
Potato
of
cakes.
not quite potato
Sold them in
cakes.
Soup Value.
Yeah, you
Pat
would
the
have.
Baker had them.
Yeah. But are they quite popular here?
No.
No, not as much. I always had them with my breakfast.
To
no
be
matter
accurate, like we probably sold 6 packs a day in Soup Value.
what. They were all to me.
Yeah, probably.
To the northern contingent of Trim. So those two would definitely be in my breakfast, but I don't think they're
Yeah,
as
you
common.
see, I knew there's other ingredients in boxy. It's not just like the potato bread.
Yeah, so potato bread and boxty aren't the same thing then.
No, it's
Right.
there's like mashed potatoes and all that in the boxy.
Right. And what's in potato bread? Just potatoes and bread.
No, I don't think there's. I don't think there's any potatoes in potato bread, is there?
Oh, there is, yeah. There'd have to be. Sure, it'd be
Like,
like.
is there bananas and banana bread?
Yeah.
Well, then.
Potato.
There has to be potatoes and potato bread.
Yeah, there definitely is. So that'd be in my perfect breakfast anyway. That northerny type stuff. But I can't seem to find it when I go out for breakfast anywhere. It's all sausages, rashers, beans,
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Yeah, mushroom. Oh, you have to have mushrooms in a breakfast.
Yeah, I do like
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Now, the thing about the beans, if I was to have scrambled egg, I would like my beans in ramekin.
Yeah, but get a bit messy. though.
yeah. the mix
Yeah,
up
it's
then.
beans or scrambled eggs basically. I don't like I don't like scrambled eggs in a breakfast.
No?
unless it was just scrambled eggs and toast, but not within a breakfast.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs taste a bit weird with sausages and rashers and stuff like that. I think.
Oh, there seems to be a lot of contrary things about boxy and potato bread.
Right. So we've
Yeah.
we've unfolded something. Is this wheels versus doors?
It might be. It's from an Irish word, box, BACSATI fodder,
Yeah.
and that's called boxy. But then it says potato bread or cakes known as boxy. I
Right.
don't know.
I'd imagine a lot of families have fallen out.
Probably
over
should
that.
have researched that.
Yeah, families ripped apart.
Yeah,
it seems.
here's your boxy. That's potato bread. I'm not eating that.
Get out of this house.
Divorce. Yeah. So there you go.
I do like hash browns.
Yeah.
Like hash browns.
Yeah, I don't think hash browns be an Irish breakfast product.
No, that's particularly American. I think hash browns.
Even UK, I'd say.
Oh yeah. But hash browns are an American thing. I think the Americans brought
Are
them
they?
here. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then I don't like them.
Why is that? Are you anti-America? We're getting into the. Was it
No,
the
it's
thing I
just-
said about?
You watch Fox News?
Oh, actually, right. I seen a thing on Facebook today. I won't mention who had it up. Right, there's a new statue coming to Trim
Right.
of Hugh de Lacy.
I know who had it up.
That's okay.
It was on Trim discussion page.
Yeah, yeah. You see, there you go.
Did you comment about the audio?
Did it say?
No, I'll do later.
Did it say where it's going?
No.
Okay, so some statue, and he's in his full, I don't know, fighting kit,
Right.
Holding
and
a
like
hat.
has the English cross on it. And I'm thinking,
Controversial.
Interesting.
what's the story? Like, I got upset over the flag being up the pole. I'm going to be upset by this fella. Now I know the castle's called Hugh de Lacy Castle, isn't it?
It's Hugh de Lacy. It's King John's castle.
Yeah. Oh.
But no, Hugh de Lacy was just. I think he moved in there after King John
Okay.
moved out.
So he's a bit of
After,
he was a
that's
bit of a
right.
tyrant from across the water, yeah.
Mm.
So why are we putting him up just because the castle is named after him, or he lived there?
I wonder whose choice that was. To be town council, obviously, would it?
Well, I don't know.
Or is it Meath County Council that has those decisions?
I don't know. I'm not
I'd
too
say
happy
the
about him.
heritage place of Ireland probably has those decisions.
Like, I don't mind Wellington because he lived out the road in Dangan.
And he came up with the fucking wellies.
Yeah.
It's pretty handy.
No, he made beef Wellington.
Are you?
Jesus.
Sorry.
Gotta get Google out again.
He defeated Napoleon at Waterloo.
In a pair of wellies, like some lad.
I don't know.
No, he was
Yeah.
eating beef Wellington. Jesus. He was in his tent eating beef. Napoleon came in and he beat him with it. That's why it's called beef Wellington.
The arseways history of Trim.
Would you drink coffee with your breakfast or tea?
I'm not a
Always
fan
coffee.
of Wellington anyway. I'm not a fan of him. Did
No?
you hear what he said about the Irish? No.
Is this another Joe Biden comment?
No,
type thing?
it probably is actually. Yeah, but he was in, I think, Parliament, and they were like,
Who's this now?
Wellington, Duke
Oh.
of Wellington, and they said to him, "Oh, you go back to your Irish or whatever like that." And he said, "Sir, just because I was born in a barn does not mean I'm an animal." And he said something like that. Just because I was
Ooh.
born in a stable, doesn't mean I'm a pig. Something along those lines. But he was not a fan of being Irish. He didn't like his Irish heritage.
Well, he got sent over here as a kid. I think that's why.
Yeah, he lived in
Dangan.
Summerhill, Dangle Castle,
Yeah, yeah.
Dangle, yeah,
Right.
That's
Dangan.
where he's there.
A lot of anti-Irish vibes over the last 2 weeks.
They took the flag down though. It's now a Ukrainian flag.
Why was it up in the first place?
I have no idea. They
Was
just
it
had
Union
they just
Jack,
had
wasn't
all of them. No, they had the English, Scottish, Wales.
Yeah, see, I
I
don't mind
that.
flag.
No, I don't mind that flag at all.
If it was Union Jack, I'd have a problem with it. And that's Hugh de Lacy thing. Yeah, it still has the English flag, but not the Union Jack. Like I have an issue with it still,
But like
but it
the
represents
Union Jack is all those flags together. So why wouldn't it be the same when they're separate?
But it's
a lot of people wouldn't. That's the British flag to me,
yeah.
and a lot of English people wouldn't call themselves British.
yeah.
But it's still like I wouldn't like. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I'd be a fan of not having it up
Yeah,
than having it up.
yeah. Thanks, John.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't really. Doesn't really bother me. I don't think.
I know. I just didn't like to see it.
No, with the history, yeah.
We were down in Sligo there a couple of weeks ago, and this cottage like that was after getting renovated out in the middle of nowhere around Ben Bulbin there, and there's a sign outside saying no black and tans allowed.
Brilliant.
A lot of that actually. There was a cottage down in Galway that we were staying in, and apparently there was this old lady that used to live there, and she would hide.
Thought you were going to say haunt.
No. Well, probably. Actually, that's an interesting one. I saw a video on Instagram there the other day of an apparent ghost in an apartment.
Oh, like Casper?
Scary stuff. No, it was this apartment that these guys started renting. They were in it about 2 months. They were told that there was an old lady that lived there, and she had passed away about a year or two ago, and they just thought nothing of it. And they put up these cameras.
Chills.
Put up these
Chills.
cameras to try. We're so far away from food. It's
Everybody's
ridiculous.
getting the chills now.
Like I thought they were talking about food.
And
But-
that lady was a chef.
she liked beans with her breakfast.
In a ramekin.
But they put up cameras in this house, and you can clearly see this little movement coming out of the hall door, and the cat freaks out, runs across the other side of the thing under the table, and is like looking back at it.
Wow. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, and I've had a few like this. Well, that's a whole other podcast. I've had a few experiences, and honestly, so I'm a believer. There's something there.
Can we please go down this road? Can we just leave food and go for ghosts, please?
as long as we circle back to me telling you how to make tea.
Okay.
Yes, I actually do want to hear that story.
Okay, so we're on ghosts. Okay.
Okay, so we've gone from food to ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a whirlwind. What? So will I tell a story about how I
There's a
experienced
name
had
for
an
the podcast.
experience with a ghost?
Yeah. What is
Okay.
your ghost
Well,
experience?
I've said like I've two at the top of my head, right?
I get a Johnny doll here. Where did the ghost touch you?
Chance would be a fine
Touched
thing.
by an angel. That's how it originated. So there's one story that's obviously it's hilarious, and
Okay.
you used to be like, that's obviously another story behind it. But my mother used to babysit for a family right near our old home.
Right.
They'll probably listen as well. Like, yeah, I know what you mean, right? So basically, an old lady used to live there. She passed away in the house. Then this family then moved into their mother's house, basically.
Right.
Took over the house, basically. And started raising their family there. My mother used to part-time babysit for them. And she used to go over every Saturday night so the parents could go out in the town or go into the pub, go into McCormick's or whatever, have a pint, right? But the mother, I think after 3 or 4 weeks, the mother was literally saying to us, like, I don't like going there, it's too scary. And she was like, will you come to me one night? I think I was 12. Said, will you come over with me just tonight and babysit with me? Just because I think I'm going mental. I'm hearing things. So I was like, yeah, come on, Ma, come on.
Bring
no
your
bother.
12-year-old. There's possibly a ghost in this house. Come with me.
It's either a ghost or a killer.
Take
my
him
God.
first.
Impressionable youth. Probably the most impressionable stage of your life ever.
Look, there's a deeper story there. We were slagging her. Saying, there's nothing there, man. Don't be silly. But anyway, I went over with her one night. And we were in the kitchen. I think this is around 11:30. And we were just sitting there watching the telly. All the kids were asleep. And we heard this rattle. Like a baby's rattle. Like chick, 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 chick. So we heard it. And she's like, do you hear that, John? And I was like, yeah, what is it? That's what I hear sometimes. But I hear other things. Sometimes it'll be upstairs. I'm like, be silly, man. Carried on watching the telly. Then the rattle went, chick, 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 chick. And I was like, okay, that is weird. Or ignored it. Then the rattle went, chick, 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 chick. And I went, oh,
Holy crap.
And
Yeah.
it was coming from the utility room, right? So the mother was like, will you go look, John? I can't handle it. Right? And I was like, I'm not going to look. And then the rattle went, and I was like, oh no, it's probably the washing machine or something like that. So I slowly opened the door. The rattling stopped as soon as I
What?
touched
You
the
actually
hand.
went?
I went because I was thinking,
What a brave 12-year-old.
I did not believe in ghosts. I was like, this is ridiculous. There's an explanation to it.
Okay.
I was thinking the washing machine was on. Something was on that was just making this rattle. It was on the countertop.
Yeah.
And I opened the door, looked in, and I just seen a baby's rattle, just like as if someone had just put it down, just edging over and back.
I'm just
On
after
the
getting
counter,
chills.
on the counter in the middle on its own. So I closed the door and I said to the mother, I'm not coming back. Right?
To life. I'm done.
I stayed with her that night until the parents came home.
Right.
And the mother, I asked the question that the mother would never ask. I said to them, I think there's a ghost in your house. And you know what they said?
What?
Oh, it's probably me mother.
What?
Don't worry about her. And I went, okay, great. And I don't know, I can't remember from rest. I don't know whether my mother kept on babysitting or not, but I think she stopped from there. But they kind of...
Of course you did.
They acted as if, oh yeah, it's our mother haunts the house.
What?
Yeah, and so I never went back there again.
Obviously.
But
That was the reasonable thing to do. Not open the door.
but still unexplainable to this day. Maybe it didn't exist. Maybe it did. But I still you can hear the rattle going in my head. That rattle was going.
But the fact that they were so quick to answer back,
Yeah.
oh, that's probably my
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Would
must
lead
be
you
an
to-
ongoing thing, like
Yeah. So like Portuguese kind of style.
Oh, no.
just waiting for the head to turn around.
Now, I heard that, this is just folklore maybe, but halfway between Trim and Navan, just where the garage is, you know, the new kind of garage.
Yes.
yeah.
Me and Paul Grass toured around there.
Right, okay. So everyone's heard this then, obviously, that there was apparently either poltergeists or
Yeah,
ghosts of
in the
kids
house.
in that house. That
Yeah, they've done it
used
up
to
though.
back up onto the road. It had like
Yeah,
it was a cool looking house,
Yeah.
but
It's not that. It's renovated since.
yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's done up. Yeah.
so the story I heard was that there was ghosts of children in there.
Oh.
What did you hear about that house?
I didn't hear any stories. I just heard it was haunted.
Mm.
So what we used to do, like on a Saturday night, because I was always driving,
Right,
was we used to be hanging around with girls or whatever in the town,
as you do.
and we'd like, do you want to go to a haunted house?
Yeah.
So we at like 1:30 in the morning, we just drive out to Navan Road, park right outside this house and dare each other to go in.
What? Was it abandoned at this stage?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
if you look on YouTube, there's a video of me and Paul walking around it.
No.
Yeah. Like we went in, there's like stairs, newspapers on the ground. But I think at one event we got really freaked out and just legged it back of the car. We'll get Paul on the podcast sometime.
Which is this? Paul Carras?
Paul, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, get a voice note, get information.
Yeah.
Story.
Get him in.
Get
Let's
him,
get him
yeah.
in and get him talking. He's got a lot of fascinating stories, I'd say.
Well, I tell you the second story. Do you want to talk about?
I've just got one.
Yeah, go.
It's not really that good, to be honest. I was. Do you remember Paddy Austin and that band Creep that he were in? Do you remember Dermot Sinnott, all those lads, Summerhill Boys?
You're ringing a bell at me.
The Sinnott, you would have known Owen
Yes,
Sinnott.
Owen Sinnott, yeah.
His younger brother, Dermot, was in a band with Paddy Austin, all Summerhill crew. So I was trying to get into their band. Their drummer had gone.
But you aren't from Summerhill.
No, exactly. So I was outside of that crew. So I had to work very, very hard to try and get into this band. So I was told, look, work on. I wasn't very good at this thing called double bass. So it's playing 2 kick drums at once at the same time.
Can you do it now?
Oh yeah, I'm great now.
Teaches it now.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. But I wasn't back then. So Rory O'Sullivan, we talked about him last week. He used to live in a house just outside of, I think his girlfriend at the time. The house was left to the girlfriend. It was like the mother's family place or whatever. Just outside of, do you know the Renault garage going out of Navan towards Kentstown?
Oh, John Lars.
Yeah. So just past that, there's a little.
It's not Renault anymore. Newgate has a dealership now.
Oh, right.
So it's just Peugeot.
I rarely drive out that road now. So there's a crossroads. Crossroads just after that. Just outside, but maybe a mile outside of where Johnstown is there, and they owned that little farmhouse there. And I had my drums there. I was kind of practicing with Rory for some reason, I think, or jamming with something. But they were in a shed there. So I spent about 2 weeks every evening after I'd come home from work. I worked in Dublin, drove home, went out to the shed, spent hours, about 3 a.m, just practicing my double bass, playing songs, and then I'd walk home. I lived in Johnstown in one of the estates there, so I'd walk in. It's only about a mile or something like that, so it took about 15-20 minutes. And one evening, I heard this like crying sound, and as I was walking out the gate, and then
I'm going to need someone to drive home with me.
I got this kind of chill. Do you know that chill you get instantly? And I was like, okay, no, it might go away. So I walked, and it seemed to be following me along the hedge, and then it turned into like this kind of screaming almost, and I just sprinted. Like my ice through my veins. I just ran, and it was following me down the hedge.
Jesus.
I felt it must have been for about half a mile, but it was only probably about like 20 feet maybe. Followed me all the way down, and I just sprinted, and ran back to the house in Johnstown and got in. I think I was living with Paul Caldwell at the time in Johnstown, and he looked at me. He's like, "What the hell just happened to you?" I was like a sheet, just pure white, and I've never. He seems to think that it might have been a fox or something.
It could have been something in the
It was
ditch.
just something, and it was just it reacted to me being there. But I am fully sure that it was a banshee. No combs were found.
Somewhere that night, some fox went home to his clubs and said, I was walking in the hedge.
I heard this drumming sound.
I heard this thing beside me, and I ran through the hedge.
That'd be funny.
So that's my only ghost story.
And did you hear any other stories of something on that road? Like any other stories of a history of...
Or foxes.
No, nothing. I never... Yeah, there's a family of foxes living there. Yeah, no, nothing. I didn't really research it. Yeah. That's it. I've had no other kind of ghost
There's meant to be a room in the South Campus in Maynooth that's haunted.
Oh, yeah, that's the window where the priest's place is. Yeah.
I think every college has a haunted room that's locked.
Yeah.
And has a bricked up wall.
There was one of those in...
Gormanstown.
Yeah.
One of them in Gormanstown.
But wasn't there one of those in the old primary in Trim? Do you remember not St. Mary's that's there now, across the road? There was a kind of, it's now kind of derelict.
St. Mary's.
Oh, yeah.
It was also St. Mary's, yeah.
That's my next story, the Blue Nun.
There we go, okay.
The Blue Nun.
Segue.
Do you hear the story about Blue Nun?
The Blue Nun.
Yeah. Every young lad knew about the Blue Nun.
Yeah.
We should rent that place and do the podcast.
No. The Educate Together was meant to be going in there, and as soon as I heard what building it was, I was like, no, I don't want to ever walk in there again. But yeah, anyway.
It's a shame that it's derelict though. It needs to be done something to it. Go on.
Yeah, it's a waste of a building.
So there was a time where, I think I was around 12, 13 as well, around the same age of the other time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like a star recorder player, like one of the most famous in Ireland.
Tommy Boylan? Did Tommy Boylan do
Rings a
lessons
bell.
with you?
Rings a bell.
He was big guy. Used to come into the primary school and teach.
Big tall chap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teach recorder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there too.
So now you were one of the best recorder players.
Alongside 30 or other.
Oh,
But we were one of the best.
top 30
Top 30 in that school I was in.
of 31
30.
people.
31. There was always one guy that was really bad.
He had the recorder up his nose.
Yeah, he could play. Yeah, one up with each nostril. He could play 2 recorders. Well, basically, we had this recorder concert in there one night, like where all the parents could come and watch us play recorder. Nobody wanted to be there. You could just tell they're just parents at the show. But but basically, after the show, like we were all backstage. But anyway, as a backstory, St. Mary's School was a really old, couple of 100-year-old school. And there was a rumour at upstairs was totally off limits to nearly everybody, even the workers, because at night time, because upstairs there's a statue of a nun, the Blue Nun, and apparently she died. Something accidentally happened to her upstairs. She's in an accident, and they dedicated this statue to her. And basically, the rumor was that at night time, after 12 p.m. at night, she came out of the statue and roamed upstairs, looking to how to save herself. Right? We all believed it. It was rumored. It was like, no, wasn't it? It was just a kid's rumor. All of Trim knew about the Blue Nun. My sisters that were 20 years old remembered from their age. It was just all of it. And there was sightings of her, and old men that tell you the stories of when they seen her. But we were kids, didn't believe a word of it. Obviously, it was at the back of our heads. Yeah. We didn't go upstairs. But anyway, after the recorder musical, me and 5 other lads said we'd play chasing after each other around backstage. And Wayne Toole, do you remember Wayne Toole?
Yeah.
We were chasing him. He was it, right? We were about to get him. He made the last-ditch effort to run upstairs to get away from us.
No.
All right? The stairs were these old vintage-style stairs that kept going up really high, all right? So he ran up the stairs. We looked at him going upstairs. Shit, I'm going to say an F word very soon, so if there's any kids listening, turn it off or cover their ears. But we said, what are we going to do? We're going to run after him. We split-second decision. We ran after him. We were running up with our eyes at our feet at the stairs because we wanted to run. It was pitch dark upstairs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, then we all 5 of us bang into him. He was like a rock solid, hanging onto each barister, like a rock, looking up with his mouth open. And we banged into him. We were like, "Whoa, gotcha!" And he's still not moving. And we were like, "What's up, man?" And he went very quiet, like we were both all quiet, and we all looked up. And silence. And then Wayne shouts, "Fuck, it's the Blue Nun!" And we all just absolutely tumbled back then. And I looked up. I seen her.
What?
He seen her. Nun. And I looked up. I still have the vision. It was just a nun in a blue. Like, I could see her white thing on the forehead. Arms down by the side with her tights. The dress was like just below her knees. Tights and the black shoes. And this is at 12:30 at night.
What?
And she was standing at the top, like at the very top step, and just arms down by the side.
How close are you to her at the moment?
It's hard to describe. Let's say 4 meters up.
This was hardly a nun that used to drink in St. Joseph's.
We put it through our mind. Maybe it's all a rumor. Maybe nuns slept upstairs.
Yeah.
And we were really noisy, shouting.
Yeah.
Maybe she was asleep upstairs, and she was just a grumpy nun that came to look what the.
I don't think a nun sleeps in her nun clothes, though. Surely, she's not like just in case Jesus needs me.
Well,
I need
that's
to be
her
ready.
only clothes. She had to get out into them.
That leads me to my next question. How do you know?
Because she's a person at the end of the day.
Bertie used to sit outside.
I don't sleep in my work clothes, buzzing to get up in the morning to go to work.
I want to see your internet history
Are
after
they
this is
work
over
clothes,
today.
I would like to think they had a dressing gown that was designed the same as their nun clothes.
With the collar.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a dressing gown.
Well, look, that went through our mind as well. But I still have the vision of this nun at the very top of the stairs. Now, whether she was in blue or navy, I don't know.
Floating? Not floating.
No, she wasn't floating. Her
Levitating.
feet were on the ground.
Right.
But she was at the top, and literally just remember him. Like, we didn't look up because it was pitch dark. Like, you couldn't see upstairs. It was pitch dark, and it was dark in the hallway that we were in. So you could, like, as you could look up the stairs, it was more fader to black.
Right.
But we could just, like, as if you closed your eyes, you could just see the faint silhouette
Oh.
but I could see the white thing across the top of the forehead, and I could see that it was a dress, and her hands. I could see the hands on the side.
And face? Could you see her face?
I don't know whether I seen the face or my mind was reminding myself that I seen a face.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing a figure at the top of the stairs, and we all legged it, and we went and told our parents. I was in there. Shut up, John. Get in the car. And yeah, so that's my other.
Wait
experience.
a second. Your mother said, "Shut up, John. Get in the car," and didn't believe you after what had happened with the fucking rattle.
Yes.
Well,
If there's anybody else that has Blue Nun stories,
Yeah,
my
right into
Lord.
it.
we'd like to hear some of them.
That-
If Wayne Toole is listening, back up my story.
I'm pretty sure the Blue Nun
link in
came
bio.
and took him that
Like,
evening.
and I think the other guys that was with me was Enda Fitzsimons. So I'll give Enda a shout.
That is, yeah. Because when I heard that the Educate Together was going in there, I was like, no, I'm not. We're
we
moving,
can play
moving
voice
schools,
notes.
moving
Send
schools.
voice notes in.
Because we did speech and drama in the hall at the far side of the yard in that place for years, and like that, I think around the back of that there you could go upstairs, and it was just like, I'm not even going backstage. I don't want to look.
Yeah.
It was just didn't go near the place because you knew that
it's
she
such a
was
beautiful building, though.
there. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Was it part of the it goes out to the far side where the Bon used to be, that building?
No, there's a walkway to it. It's the same. Like
Right.
they're all nuns.
Right.
They're connected in some way. Like you can go from that convent into the St. Mary's School and then over to the church. It's all connected.
In fairness though, the stories I heard about them, some of them nuns, it doesn't surprise me that they were
Was it Nuns Gone Wild?
left to haunt somewhere, like.
Oh,
fair.
yeah.
You know?
As in, it's their job. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
No, not their job, just that they were like
all right, sister,
bad people.
Putting in overtime, huh?
Tomorrow you're starting at 12:00 in St. Mary's School. Okay. That's in Tullamore. Yeah, well, don't worry, you can float there. Don't worry. You just wake up there. Don't
Well,
worry.
they used to make the kids clean the floors when they were bad, like the tiles in that convent.
I mean, they probably didn't do them any harm, clean the floor. If
Not
there's a
when
few
you're
kids nowadays who could do with cleaning a floor, I'll tell you that.
when you're a little kid, like. you
Yeah,
know.
off the iPad and clean that floor there.
Ask that to Mickey Joe in Mountjoy.
Cleaned many a floor.
Yeah, well,
No, there's not. I wouldn't say there's many kids now that were sent on a bad path after cleaning the floor. Bit of hard work,
no. Some nun broke my mum's watch once.
right?
Yeah.
Just
Did you ever get? Were you old enough to get a slap off a nurse, a nun?
slap off a
Sorry, I
nurse.
was watching a video last night.
I'm definitely
I-
old enough to get a
I-
slap off a nurse. That's for sure.
I probably only got slapped once by a nurse, and that was the 23rd of the 1st, 1986.
By a nun. No, they wouldn't have slapped us. We had nuns in primary school in St Mary's, but after that, I don't think I had any nuns.
I had nuns in primary school. Yeah, we got slapped by a ruler.
Really?
Yeah, if you were bold, you got brought up to the desk and you had to put your hand out, and she slapped you with the ruler.
St Mary's? I
St.
could
Mary's.
neither
Yeah, well, I was
confirm or
only in
deny.
St. Mary's and St. Michael's, so I think it was St. Mary's.
Well, would have been. We were
Yeah.
only 2 years apart.
I was in a normal school.
You were one of those lads. one
Yeah,
of
a
the culties.
non nunnery.
Yeah.
You were in Boards Middle School, weren't you?
Boarsmill. St.
That was
Bridget's
just like
National
ran
School.
by the neighbour.
Well, my auntie was a teacher there when I started,
Hedge schools.
and then when we got in trouble, not that I ever did, you got brought around to all the other classes so that the other 4 teachers could give out to you
Oh my god.
in front of their class.
Was Boardsmill one of those schools where you have like 5th and 6th and 4th all in the one classroom?
It only happened once in my time there. We were split in, I think it was in 3rd class, so some of us stayed with 2nd class and some of us went to 4th class.
And the principal taught you.
No, I never actually. I never had Padder. He was principal when I was there, and then Mr.
Oh.
Byrne came
Listen to him name dropping, huh?
when
First name terms.
Mm.
Padder.
well, Mass Flahan, and
Oh,
I never had him when I was
sounds
there.
even worse.
And then I had Mr. Byrne when I was in 6th class, and he was then the principal. I think he's principal in Beliver now.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
There was one teacher, Mrs. Ennis. We were always scared of her though.
Right.
She had an electric finger.
What? Explain that, please.
Electric finger.
Electric finger. So like now, I never got brought in.
Are
obviously.
we done with ghosts, by the way?
Yes.
Does that go?
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
We're
Oh,
on,
ghost.
we're on electric
Oh,
fingers.
we're on to androids and robots now.
So when she was giving out to you, she had like really long fingers, like, and she used to drill her finger into like the gap between your shoulder and your chest, like,
Right.
and get right in there. And when she's giving out to you,
So the finger wasn't actually electric; it was just her normal finger.
no, it was sore apparently.
All right.
I never got anyone lucky enough.
What a letdown.
So just a normal fingered woman.
Yeah, just that long finger
You'd get done
with
for
a lot
that
of
nowadays.
power.
Genie Mac. Imagine.
I thought she'd like rubbed her finger off her jumper for such a long time that she went around and statically charged her students.
So the story goes, there was one lad and he put a book up his jumper like one day, and she hurt her finger. Don't know how true that is.
Right. It's a clever move, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's knowing your enemy.
Yeah.
Right. So you've no more ghosts.
I have no ghost stories.
You've none.
No.
You've never experienced anything like that before in your life.
No, we went around some of the old houses in Boars Mill, all right, and found things that was in them. They're all, well, one is done up now and one is knocked.
Yeah.
We would have been around the school a bit, messing after hours and heard things all right and legged it, but
Yeah.
not really any incidents.
But
No.
no sightings.
No. We lit the road on fire one night, that's about it.
But like, I don't understand ghosts. Like, if you think of yourself as all you are is electrical neurons in your brain or whatever like that, how can you come back as this silhouette of yourself? And like, should I be wearing nicer clothes every day?
Just in case.
They're the ones you're stuck with.
They're the ones I'm stuck with. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
is there ghosts
the
or
ghost in
not?
Lord of the Rings,
Always bringing it back to Lord of the Rings.
they
Rubbing it
owed
in.
an oath to the king, so they got stuck in the middle because they didn't fulfill their oath.
Right.
So they got stuck in the middle. So
Purgatory.
yeah,
Yeah, like, I mean, you're getting pretty deep if we're talking about
That's
body and soul and all that type of stuff.
We will get back to food,
Okay.
but it is getting deep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole other chat, though.
There's a lot in that one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We're talking
controversial.
about beliefs and stuff there.
Yeah, that you're either going to get rid of religion if you're going to get into that mood.
I think I'd like to be cremated, but I feel by the time that
We're
we
back to food
die,
again,
that's
aren't we?
going to be standard
Speaking of
because
food,
there's
yeah.
a lot
Oh, yeah,
of
well, yeah. There's not enough space.
No,
for,
not enough
for
space.
everyone.
There's a graveyard we've seen down the country and it's on a slope, and you're nearly out in the road.
Jesus.
I want to be buried
That's not what you
upright.
Oh,
It's a
so,
waste of
down.
space, but in 6
oh,
foot.
I thought that's a cabin. There's a cabin man joke somewhere in there about
Yes,
being
sir.
buried up straight.
Why are we buried upright? It's just, don't get it. The graveyards would be much smaller. Just saying.
Yeah.
But also, but the way I want to go is the compostable coffins and then plant a tree over me.
Oh, yeah, I know someone who did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be
They're gone now, obviously, but
shook on Anfield. That'd be nice.
I don't think you're going to have that done.
Why not?
I don't think you'd
Is
be
that
allowed.
happen much?
That's why they can't get rid of Anfield,
What?
because they do that. So it's sacred ground. Like, so even if Liverpool move stadiums, Anfield, the pitch, the sod can't be touched.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because people get their ashes shook on it.
How much does that cost? I suppose it doesn't matter. You're dead.
But that's disgusting.
I don't know.
You've got
Get
the
someone to
slide
go to a
tackle.
game and fuck it out.
No way. You can't do that.
But like,
Just
don't
throw
you
an
ever-
urn onto the
There's-
pitch.
oh no, there's a streaker. Oh, he's gone. He's blown away.
That'd be a nice place to haunt, wouldn't it? Like
Anfield?
free tickets every game.
Yeah, it's like a season ticket holder for life.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We managed to sneak in. I remember this is a completely different story now, but
Any ghosts
it
in it?
was
No.
the first time I was in Anfield. Mum and Dad brought me. I think I was around 9, and now before it got done up and all that, and we were walking out after the game. It was a pre-season friendly, and the ambulance at the time used to be in beside the pitch, and the door was open where it drove out.
Mm-hmm.
And Mum and Dad looked like, and you could see right onto the pitch, and the Hordens were gone back, so you could walk out, and you're just thinking, you're never going to have this chance again.
Yeah.
Yeah, walked
do it?
out, no security there, nothing. Walked out and all onto the pitch, got a little bit of the
Your
grass,
mum and dad never.
and then just at the,
Rebels.
so it's the corner down, between the cop now and the main stand,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was where Trent took the corner for
yeah.
the Barcelona game. And so walked onto there, took a bit of side, and then a really nice security man says, "Oh, you aren't meant to be in there or whatever." I said, "Oh, just chance."
As you're putting the
Yeah.
pitch into your pocket.
But in fairness, he took it as in like, "Oh, they seen their chance and their own," you know.
Absolutely.
No, he
and
took
came
it
back
as
out.
shit. I didn't do my job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm
could see
about to
that
get
these people
fired.
were here.
One or the other. Yeah, I always remember that now.
And did you keep the piece of the turf?
Yeah, I have it home.
No way.
Yeah, a bit of grass. Yeah,
Can I see it when we go to your house next time?
yeah, you can do. Yeah,
Can I touch it?
yeah, maybe.
I'm
see.
I'm seeing my chance. I'm taking that.
I have a piece of the Berlin Wall if you want to see that.
No way.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Not trying to overshadow your story. Your story's cool.
Yeah.
But just as we're talking about pieces of history, and
Yeah, I think that's the only.
How
piece
did
I
you
have.
get said piece? Were you there and just
I was there. Yeah.
nicked it?
No. Me uncle was a musician. He was touring Germany, and basically he was there in gigging around that corner of the place. And he just went
1989?
down. He
No,
just- he
1989?
heard there was some wall being torn down. He went around to have a look.
No way. It's
And
so
there's
Irish,
wa-
isn't
And
it?
he just
Yeah, I love a good wall.
he's seen a piece on the ground. He said, "I'll take this home. Maybe this is important."
This will be worth some money some days.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it would be worth money, but yeah, just a piece of stone and a bit of metal in it as the rebar.
No way.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
cool.
class. Yeah, very good. That's a topic all.
I tried to take some at the Coliseum, but I couldn't find a loose bit.
Jeez, it'd fall down if you took a piece of it.
That's a load-bearing piece. I've Crow Park from the Leinster final in 2010.
Right.
Remember the loud situation? And we were in the Cusick stand, and we were about. They still do it now. The first 3 rows have like this netting across it in most games and big games. So we were maybe the third or fourth back, and I remember we were Kyle at the time, and with the way it ended because the refereeing decision and Joe Sheridan's goal or whatever, loads of people went onto the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, this never happens since I started going to Crow Park. People going on the pitch, and I looked at Kyle and I was thinking, will we?
Oh,
and he
God,
goes,
yes.
grand, yeah, let's go. So we stood on the back of the chairs and we were going down, and we were on the last chair on the netting, ready to jump across the wall. And the security man was at the gate, but he was only like a young fella, like 19, 20. And he looked at me, and I looked back at him, and he just goes, and shrugs his shoulders, and we're like, we're gone.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I love when that type of stuff happens.
I know that was good. Not for loud, obviously. I don't think they've gotten over it.
Really,
But they've Mickey Hart now. They've got back-to-back promotions. I'm sure they're okay.
the musician, is it?
Mickey Joe Hart. Do you know that song that's out? I keep thinking it's Mickey Joe Hart, and it's not. Although I think he rebranded himself as Mickey Hart. Did he?
I'm not sure. I don't know where he
He
went.
shouldn't
If
have
that-
had
if that
Mickey
song-
in a name, that was his downfall.
If
Yeah.
that song didn't win the Eurovision, no song we send is going. That was class.
It's all fixed. It's all fixed.
Oh yeah, well, it is now. They're all voting for each other. and all
Oh,
that crap.
politics.
Did something happen at the Eurovision this year or last year? There was some big controversy about the Eurovision, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
man was on drugs or something. They're
Yeah,
saying.
cocaine. He sniffed cocaine on camera.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
the
yeah,
Italian
yeah.
fella.
He
Did
said he
they-
said he didn't.
Did they end up? Oh right, they ended up keeping it. Did they?
Yeah, because he said he didn't.
That works. Will Smith didn't do it.
Yeah, the justice system wouldn't be great if that was how you got off. No, I didn't do it. Wasn't there?
Could I just bring you back briefly to food?
Yes.
There was one thing I wanted to get your opinion on.
So we haven't parked the food.
I love this JB Waffle 2 hour podcast.
we should probably bring it to an end. I just wanted to. We were going to come into this, but the thing that I miss the most in Trim, I don't know if it's
Drifters.
No, you're shut up with Drifters. The thing I missed the most
That
in
was me.
Trim was across from where St Mary's was, going down towards St Michael's. There used to be a sweet shop in the very corner of the car park there. Do you remember that?
Hughes.
I don't know what it
Oh,
was
yeah,
called.
McGill's.
Oh, McGill. Sorry.
McGill's, that's what it was called.
And the 2 women.
Yeah. And they used to sell like 10-penny bags and
You
cola
used to get
bottles.
frosties in there with the
They
bus.
hated children.
They
Yeah.
did, and it was
And they were the best customer.
that was the only customer that
they
they
hated
had.
us all when we walked in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they liked their
They
job. to be
literally
honest.
used to look over the counter saying, "Stop effing robbing,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be doing a thing.
No.
Well,
They-
there would be lads robbing.
Amazing.
I wasn't doing a thing. They hated kids.
That's gone now. But
Is
McGill's,
it gone, yeah?
the hardware is still there. The brother is still running it.
Right, is that round the corner?
It's behind it, yeah.
Oh, it's
Gabriel
behind it.
is running the place. Yeah.
So the sweet shop's gone now, is it?
Street shop's
Yeah.
gone. Prime location for a coffee shop.
Is it just unbelievable?
Or
the
like a
money you would
recording
make.
studio for a podcast.
Hey, there's a thought. And
I know him. I can pop into him.
no
Oh, yeah.
way.
But it would
Sweet
be
shop
a-
on the side.
Sweet shop.
2 women, I think, are living upstairs.
Oh, right, okay.
And
That's
Gabriel's living out in New Haggard,
Still-
where I used to live.
Yeah.
Still alive, not a blue nun situation. Like
No.
no rattles
A
about.
lot of stuff in that shop used to be out of date though.
Yeah,
The
still
chocolate
at it
and
though.
sweets.
You know,
Oh yeah, that's
it was
Okay.
packed with kids.
It was packed.
especially
You don't see designed shops like that anymore. It was
No.
purely a square with a counter
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
shelves at the back.
we used to
Yeah,
go in there when we
brilliant.
went for the bus when Fitzy used to or Jerry used to pick us up in the car park when we were in the tech, and then when we went to the community school he used to pick us up at the fire station, so we stopped going
All right.
because it's a bit of a walk. Used to get frosties for like what was it, 10p, 20p?
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
10p.
yeah.
Remember when a bag of chips were 90p? Oh god.
We're rambling. Will we do the waffle game?
Yeah. Well. Will I keep the tea thing for the next thing?
What was the tea thing?
Well, just on how you make tea.
Ah, yeah. There's a whole
Okay,
podcast on that.
we'll
Tea
leave
and
that
coffee.
then.
Yeah, the arguments will start.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case
Okay.
I don't like the way you like tea. So
Well, you know, it was always grand in your house.
You didn't seem fussy this evening with the tea.
No, you left the tea bag in it though. That's the way Granny used to drink it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that leave
I
it.
like
leave
the tea
back
bag
in.
and the tea. Actually, did you leave it in there?
It
Yeah,
was
you did.
it was a lack of a spoon situation, I think,
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
style.
So seemingly that is your comeback, John.
Yes.
Um, you can do the waffle. So Scottie has
Bring it on.
a game for you.
Can't wait.
All right. Okay. Would you want to hear the jingle live, or would you prefer if I edited it in afterwards?
I want to hear it live.
Okay, here we go. Okay, hold on.
This
You're
is
just going to have to move it around.
Yeah, hold on. It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the waffle game.
Love it.
Yeah. Now
Absolute beautiful. Some week you'll have to do it live first.
I will. Yeah, I will. I can't remember what the chords were for it, but I'm sure I'll be able to learn it quick enough.
Oh, of course.
It took me about 5 minutes to write, but that's all the best songs are real little quick ones.
The words were touching.
Yeah, well, do you know how JB Waffle Hour came about? You sent me either a note or a picture of you. I don't know why you would have done this, but a picture of something that you wrote down in terms of lyrics. I think it was a text.
I texted you. Yeah.
But you shortened the name to JB Waffle Hour.
Yeah.
In that text, but I think did you want me to say John Bernard Waffle Hour?
I was shorthanded it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just shorthanded it, but I thought that's what you wanted, so that's why I sang it that way.
So the rebrand started.
That was a happy mistake as well.
Yeah. That's just how it happened.
It's cleaner or something. I think I don't know.
Okay, so do you want to do the timer?
I'll do the timer,
and I will do the topic. So today was kind of like it was more food related, or was meant to be anyway. But we started talking about nuns.
Everything was in this podcast.
Well, they like food too.
They do, I suppose. Yeah. So
like,
John,
like little children eating children. Anyway, go on.
Glad you ticked that box. Okay, do you have your timer?
Yes, ready to go when you are.
Okay. So after I finish this sentence, John.
Tell me when to go, Scotty.
Okay, not yet though. Just wait till I'm finished the sentence. After I finish the sentence, about
How come we don't say beam me up more? I don't know.
Yeah, that joke, Jesus, in school. And the Scott Man, you know that song, the Scott Man? I used to get that quite a lot as well.
Oh, the Scott Man.
Yeah,
that's a good song though.
Yeah. Anyway, so 30 seconds, John.
Yes.
To name 5 popular types of crisps in Ireland. Go.
Potato, King, chickadees. Haven't got any yet. Jesus. Burger King, burgers, burger fries, chipsticks, Walkers, waffles, skips, waffles, skips, hula hoops, Pringles.
10 seconds.
Pringles and
Please. Come on, John. Please.
3, 2, 1.
Say one.
Time's up.
no,
John.
couldn't get it.
Okay,
get the
so
last one.
since you've been on, I think we kind of changed it around
Since
a little
you've
bit.
been on. Sorry.
In case anyone was playing at home, that we don't say if you've got one or not.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering because I was waiting for the pings.
Yeah. So, okay.
We don't have a budget to get a bell.
John, you were so
How
close.
many did I
How many get?
You got 4 out of
Oh.
get? What? That's the highest I've ever got.
5. 4 out of 5.
What
And
one was I missing?
Rancheros.
Oh, that's
Damn it.
that's a bit of a curveball.
I used to love rancheros.
Rancheros, yeah.
I know.
Such
Well,
a
that's not that
letdown
much
to
of a
myself.
curveball.
It's a bit obscure, isn't it? Rancheros.
Do
Okay.
they still exist?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay. So I had King, Pringles.
Whoa, hang on. That's just what did you ask for? Types of crisps or brands of crisps?
Types of crisps.
Well, King cheese and onion would be a type. King is the brand.
No, you're getting a bit.
That's Boards Middle School for you.
Like he said Pringles as well, but I wasn't specifically looking for cheese and onion or salt and vinegar.
I like the buffalo ones.
It's a wonder how we get anything done in this bloody podcast.
Right, go on.
We'll discuss it at the meeting in the morning. All right?
I asked him about Revolut earlier on, and I got a message back about
That's because you
how
were
handy Revolut is.
condescending to me like I didn't know what Revolut was. It's the same when you said about Google Drive. Google Drive is a great thing, and we can share files and everything. I said, I know what Google Drive
It's
is.
just the accent. I just presume that
do
you
you not
don't.
have Revolut?
I do have Revolut.
No, he did. Yeah. I just asked him if he did or not.
Okay, yes.
And then the answer I got back was about how handy Revolut was, rather than an actual yes or no. So you got King, Pringles, Skips, chipsticks, and I was just waiting for Rancheros.
Oh. Would you have ever thought of Rancheros?
I wouldn't have. No.
No,
'cause
Really?
So that's
I don't. No, I haven't seen a ranchero in a long time.
Beautiful
No.
crisp.
Remember Wheelies?
Even bacon fries I missed out on.
Yeah,
You know,
I was looking.
Snacks,
Snacks were going to be one of mine, but
I like Doritos, the blue ones.
Doritos.
There's
Are they called crisps though?
they're more. What are they called?
Nah.
Nachos.
Nachos.
Nacho
crisps.
chips.
Yeah.
Chips.
Because you
Um,
dipped them.
Myself and 3 of the lads from the other band that I'm in, the Wednesday night mass one.
Oh yeah, I'll have to get that in somewhere.
They were really annoyed when I didn't mention them the first time. They were so pissed off. We started a little group called the Trim Crisp Appreciation Society. So
Were you big in crisps?
yeah. So the first time we started jamming, someone brought up a packet of crisps. So we tried to bring up a different type of crisps every time we jam. It's just us being fat, really. But
I like skips though. They melt in your mouth.
skips are good. Yeah,
Have the skips nays.
the O'Donnell stuff is lovely.
The Ballymaloo and something
Yes.
flavour of O'Donnell's. They're fancy though.
Yeah, they're nice.
30 or 2.
And Kyo's is another one as well.
Oh, Kyo's popcorn's nice.
Kyo's popcorn, the honey one.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
my man.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, that's nice.
Actually, we should have some of that for next week.
Yeah.
I'll bring some.
You'll hear some crumbling in the background.
Oh, before we get on to anything else, we do a little shout out for
Shout out!
it's Danny Brady Fitz, who's a listener of the podcast.
Yeah.
He says he's a trim man, and he's
Been listening.
he's enjoying the trim stories, all the school stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
He got a lot of that there today.
We've got a school special coming on soon though.
Oh, it's right.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Darrow drummer thing?
No.
I'll play that for you.
Oh, I heard you were talking about the party.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
at that party.
But you were at the party
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Woke up next morning, places Armageddon.
We're trying to gather stories from that party from different people. So far,
yeah.
we have Paul Carras told us about a air raid siren
Yeah, stuck
that
in the
was
wall.
jammed into the drywall and turned on.
Yeah, I remember something like that. I remember a lot happened at that party. Like a lot happened in the driveway at the front. A
Yeah,
lot happened.
there
in
was
the car,
fights,
in the
I
car
think.
park.
Yeah.
Fine big house.
Oh, beautiful! It had a sauna, or no? Yeah, a sauna.
Yeah,
Crazy house. But there's more stories about that, I think, to
that was
come.
a crazy night.
We're trying to pull people in and tell stories about it because
Yeah.
I don't want people to think, listeners who weren't there, to think that it was just some house party.
No, it was the house.
And that's why I remember it.
It was
Whenever I
like-
talked to
You at
remember that one in
you at Darcy Fields?
what was that?
Tony Darcy's house party.
No, I wasn't at that,
That
but
was
I
Darcy.
heard.
That was called Darcy Fields.
That was over like a few days, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, his parents are gone for
Bit of a
like
festival.
week, so it was 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was called Darcy Fields, and it was just mental.
Like Dara's one was close to that one in Cavan a couple of years ago. I remember when they invited loads of people.
I didn't hear about the cabin one.
Oh, some kids' party and it went absolutely
Or they
mental.
invited everybody on Facebook.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, they put up on Facebook and like the
They-
place was strong.
They
Like,
made the party on Facebook like public.
yeah.
Oh,
And loads of people rocked
Like
up and
buses
everything.
from Dublin came down. Like,
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
I was mad, yeah,
destroyed
yeah.
it.
No, there was. I was told by someone there a few weeks ago that there was buses that pulled up to Dara's party as well.
Well, that would be Donny Quinn. You probably just people got onto the bus. Do you want to go home or do you want to go to Dara Drummer's house?
Just dropping them off. Buses of people.
The bus
arriving.
drivers probably knew what was going on. Like, we'll just bring you here instead.
But I remember Sheila going round. She was like the housekeeper. She's
Poor
like-
Sheila that night.
She was
God
there.
help her.
There. Please don't break that. Please don't break that.
And they weren't listening.
No.
God, unbelievable.
Wow.
But yeah, it wasn't just a house party. It was the
Yeah.
house
and
party.
If you're talking about it, I will. I'll have to delve deep into
Yeah.
my brain to kind of
We'll
bring
have,
back
we'll have to
memories.
get a hypnotist that can like.
yeah, live on the podcast.
Oh my god, yeah.
Lord Crean, it is time to bring out. Right, is that us? We'll be shell bomb.
Shell bomb. Let's shell bomb this.
This is another new enough little.
What's this shell
segment.
bomb thing? I missed out on this one.
So shell
This is
bomb.
how we finish on a big news thing.
Will I go first? Because I finished the last two ones.
Okay.
Because I get to have that mic drop moment. So I'll
Mic
give you
drop.
my one first. You can do the mic drop this time.
Okay.
Okay, my one is about sunglasses. Do you know where sunglasses came from?
Came from was a
someone
tricky
looked
question.
up
Like,
and
Well,
seen
no,
that it
where
was
they
bright.
originated. Sorry,
it didn't grow somewhere.
Some guy called Ray
the sunglasses
Ban
had
invented them.
Sunglasses. Okay, I'm gonna try the most logical reason.
Okay,
Okay.
give me what you think your reason is.
Obviously, to prevent the sun from hurting your eyes,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So I'd imagine it originated in.
When did the sun start?
Oh. I'm going to give a different one now.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to think when glass was invented.
Yeah.
Was it
Oh.
before glass was invented? Was it before glasses invented? General glasses.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
Oh. I was going to say like they used like dark glasses for welding.
Oh, it
And
was
then,
def- it
then
was-
was thinking, oh, maybe that would be good to keep out the sun too.
It was definitely before glasses. Yeah, it was definitely before glasses.
Wow.
Sunglasses came first?
Yep.
That's like the chicken and the egg.
I know. Okay, so
What about monocles?
did you give a reason?
No.
No. Okay.
We never really got there.
Should I have a guess?
Julius Caesar.
No, that was Caesar salad sauce.
Cleopatra needed bling.
Okay, so sunglasses were originally designed in the 12th century China. The judges,
Chinese, they have all the best stuff.
12th century China judges to hide their facial expressions in court. That was the original.
What about the sun?
Start.
Where does the sun come into this?
Yeah,
doesn't.
where's it coming?
It doesn't.
Maybe it was someone's son. Is that how it
There's a lot of suns in China, so maybe.
So why are they called sunglasses
I
then?
just got your joke there.
Yeah, thanks.
Got that. Kick in.
I've got drum kit here. I can play the thing.
Oh yeah, you can just play it. That's like the thing with
so
the
you go-
bats.
With the bats.
Yeah. So a bathroom isn't called a bathroom because there's a bat in it.
Right.
Because it comes from the bathing room, and it got shortened down to bat instead of bathing.
But it's bathing, not just the plural of bath.
No,
Not
bathing
plural,
is
but-
the act of what you're doing in
A bath.
water or whatever. Yeah. So it was called bathing first before it was ever called a bath. So it's called the bathing room.
Oh.
So maybe it's supposed to be called the bathe room. Like, how do you spell bathing?
I have no idea.
I think it's
Same as bathing.
bath except with ing, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
bathing.
maybe
There's no e in between it.
maybe it's
Bathing.
not like
but bathe is
main
has
name
an e.
wrong. We're pronouncing bathroom wrong.
It's it is. It's batting. BATHING.
Yeah.
That's
That's
no.
bathing. Yeah.
The activity of okay.
Because like your yogurt conversation last week, like yogurt and yogurt.
Yogurt.
Well, you guys are saying yogurt is wrong. Oh,
Yogurt, yogurt's not a word.
Yeah, that you said that last week and I didn't understand
like-
what you're saying.
Why? Oh,
It's not in the dictionary.
But it is though. It's the
Yogurt.
same-
Why? Yeah.
It's spelled exactly
No,
the
that's
same.
not a. That's not a.
This is
that's
tomato
not a-
tomato kind of joke.
What?
That's not a word.
Yogurt is
That's
spelled
what I'm
the same
saying.
as
It's not a
yogurt.
word.
Yeah, but yogurt. It's spelled the same
It's
as
spelled the
yogurt.
same, yeah.
It's just pronounced
No, it's
differently.
not.
Yes.
It
Wee, have a chat with yourself.
What were they
This
teaching you in that
explains
hedge
everything.
school in Boardsmill? He's a ridiculous.
Yogurt and
out there.
yogurt are spelled exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just it depends on what part of the countryside you're from.
I love finding out stuff about
I-
Bertie.
Oh, he's an never-ending
Chasm.
chasm. Of,
You are correct.
Did you think yogurt?
Well,
yogurt-
somebody told me once that I said yogurt, and I said, "No, it's yogurt. There's no such word as yogurt."
That's hilarious. Was it the principal of your school?
It was the English teacher in my section. So it just depends where you're
Oh.
from. Yeah. Oh, okay. So apologies for my incorrectness and.
I was wondering what
the
you were
last
talking
episode.
about.
Yeah.
That's-
And yet
that's
you
funny.
let me go on.
Absolutely,
And
I did.
it's forever on a podcast.
Oh wow, podcast land.
Oh,
I don't know if this is a shell bomb, but
okay,
we can finish on it. Okay.
we're getting close to the end here.
So
Look at this.
there's this girl. She's called Shauna Ray.
Right.
Okay. So she has a little condition that her pituitary gland got stunted when she was 8.
Right.
Okay. She is now 22, and she is stuck inside an 8-year-old's body.
What?
Yeah. So she is in the video I seen. She's in a restaurant pub. She's sitting at the bar, and this a lady comes over and says, "Sorry, excuse me, kids can't be in the bar after 9 p.m." And she has to go through this whole jargon of, "I am not 8. I am 22 years old." And wouldn't that be a pain for absolutely everything?
Whips out the pituitary gland. Look,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
guy. There's a guy in Russia as well, isn't there? A little fella.
Yeah, he's like Czechoslovakian or something.
Is he
isn't
Czech?
Czech, yeah, very short little guy.
Yeah.
Looks like a kid. He's
little-
so cool.
yeah. But he's got an old man's face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you see that's different. She actually looks like, so she's
She
not a
actually
short
looks like-
person. Like she just looks like an 8-year-old.
But this guy looks
So
fat.
all her limbs are like an 8-year-old,
No way.
What?
but she is 22.
All right.
So she's not deformed, but like she hasn't got like a growth stuntedness. She grew to the size of an 8-year-old
And then just stopped.
and then stopped growing.
That's terrible. Does she have a boyfriend? I'm not asking for my own, but does she? I'm just wondering, does she live a normal life? And if she does have a boyfriend, it would be classed as fairly wrong, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
can the girl
It didn't
live a
say
normal
that in the
life? I'm trying to think of a scenario here.
video. Okay.
I think we
Now-
should stop the podcast now.
You guys are making this worse than it should be.
You're right, actually.
But
we both have daughters.
Should have stopped on the last thing. I think. Yeah.
but, like, I'm trying to think. Does she have that poor girl? Does she have a normal life? She can't do normal stuff,
Yeah.
or is she just living the life of an 8-year-old girl?
Like she goes into I don't know a pub. She
She-
goes into anything that has age restriction on it. She can't drive.
She has
She's
ID,
too short.
obviously, but it'd be presumed fake.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Mm.
it's just a pain. I thought.
It is a pain.
I've never heard that before.
Maybe you could do a follow up on her and see what the story with her life is.
Maybe
Yeah, I
we
can
get
do.
her on. Better get her on.
There's
podcast.
probably a documentary somewhere.
That would be good.
It is a thing where I think we should just randomly email celebrities and see. Look,
Absolutely.
we're on a podcast. Do you want to join us in, like Justin Bieber or something?
Yeah, just give us a little shout
The
back.
Beebs.
The Beebs, yeah. Get them down to Navan.
I'll email a few Irish celebs and see.
Sound? Yeah.
Yeah, well, they can zoom in.
Message him on Instagram.
We could zoom them
Yeah,
in, yeah.
we're
Yeah,
set
send them
for
in. Just
Zoom.
say you want to.
You probably have a better chance of zooming them in.
Yeah. Or voice note them even. They could send us a little voice note just with
Yeah,
the little story.
oh, that'd be nice.
We could play it on the podcast live.
Yeah.
React.
Okay, I don't think I know that many famous people though.
Ah, you do.
Oh yeah.
You're from Trim.
Did you watch Fair City?
No.
Okay, then you know no famous people.
Right. Will we leave it there?
The JB Waffle